Hi guys, today's tutorial is going to be on the Suzette stitch, but a little information before we get started. Many of you have asked people, what is the Suzette stitch? And others have said they don't know what that is. Well, here's the reason why. This is one of those stitches that has multiple names. It probably started way back with our foremothers, and it's gained names over time. So it's very possible that the person that you're asking does know how to do the Suzette stitch. It's just been called something different. So you need to know the Suzette stitch is also known as the grit stitch and the thicket stitch. So search all those up and you're going to get the same answer. But let's get started. The most beautiful thing about the Suzette stitch is the texture. It has the most beautiful texture and it's reversible, meaning your texture pattern will show on each sides. You're going to start with a slip knot on your hook, and this stitch requires you to start with an odd number of stitches. So for this example, we're going to start with 13 stitches. So chain 13 and meet me back here. Another great thing about the Suzette stitch is that once we create our chain row, every row after that, meaning starting with row 1, is a repeat. So it's a very simple and easy pattern, and it works great for dishcloths, baby blankets, and cardigans. And I suggest using a size 4 hook up to a size 5.5 hook. It just makes the stitch really pop at that size. For yarn selection, I really recommend cotton. So kitchen cotton is great for your dishcloths and washcloths, and then a really nice baby cotton or any other fine brand of cotton that you like, 100% cotton for blankets and sweaters. Okay, so let's get started. And as you can see, I'm using a much chunkier yarn and a larger hook, but that's just for the tutorial so that you can see my stitch work better. So we're going to turn our work sideways, and because I told you to chain 13, we're going to skip the first stitch. That allows us to turn the corner nicely. So how do we know what the first stitch is that we're going to skip? Well, if you turn your work sideways, you will see that first stitch actually turns diagonal and points towards the hook. So that's how you know we're going to skip that one. And we're going to begin work in the second stitch from the hook. So we're going to single crochet starting in that second stitch. And then we're going to double crochet right back into that same stitch. And then we're going to skip the next stitch. And if you have problems seeing the stitch that you want to skip, just stretch your chain out and find it. So skip the next stitch, working back into the next stitch after that, single crochet and double crochet into that same stitch. Skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch after that, and also double crochet into the next stitch after that. Continue working this pattern until you get to the last stitch, and we'll work that together. Here we are at the last stitch, and in the very last stitch, you're only going to single crochet. One single crochet into the last stitch, and there's your row, okay? Then you're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to repeat pattern starting in the very first single crochet right here. Single crochet and double crochet into the same stitch. Skip your next stitch, and this is a side view, but if you want to make sure that you're skipping the right stitch, turn it up and look for the beautiful little V. Skip this stitch. Begin working again into the next stitch after that. Single crochet and double crochet. And that's it. This is a repeat pattern for as big as you want to make whatever your project is. Always working to the last stitch of the row and single crochet in the last stitch. And I can imagine a question you might be having right now is it normal for my work to curl up? Yes, your work is going to curl up until your project gets big enough for it to start flattening out. So don't worry, just keep crocheting. I worked up a sample for you in 100% cotton yarn. This is actually Hobby Lobby's brand, and I used a 5.5 hook because I wanted you to see what the stitch actually looks like with the right yarn. You see that beautiful texture? This is the front side, and this is the back side. So you can see this is going to make a beautiful dishcloth, baby blanket, or sweater. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please like and share the video if you're on TikTok. Of course, if you're on another platform, please subscribe to my videos. There's more tutorials to come. Thanks so much. Have a good one.